Hi, today what I wanted to do was show some of my crafts centering around doll making and also cross stitch, and I think really basically various different types of dolls. And it's something that I have a lot of interest in. And the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I didn't really play a lot with dolls. I was so serious. But then when I grew up, I was an adult, then I started getting more interested in all things related to dolls. So anyways, I just wanted to start off with, first of all, what you're seeing here, I actually forgot. I'm just going to take some close-ups. This is a cross stitch that I did. It's a little dirty, unfortunately, because it's quite old. And I don't know, I think I must have done this when I was in my early 20s, I think, or maybe 30s. And it's a wreath comprising 4 different types of birds. And we have the different roses. And I think it's quite nice looking, but I remember it was a lot of fun. And if you see the detail on the eyes, this is obviously done in black cross stitch, but then there's a white outline for each of the eyes, to give them that kind of detail. Anyway, so this is my book of patterns for dolls, and I'm not going to show all, but I'm going to just show you a few. I had more and I have to find them, but this is a pattern. It's called Paradise Dolls, and this is for Princess Diana. Her 1985 White House dance dress, and you can see these beautiful details, the tiara, the earrings, the choker. I actually remember a little bit of the choker, but I don't remember this dress. Anyways, there's the pattern for this. They're quite intricate and everything, and you have a bit of the history, but it's very interesting. What I wanted to do also was show these are something that my mother and me really, really like. And way back when, at one of the malls in Ottawa at Christmas time, they used to have these animated dolls wearing all different international costumes, and they were animated and they were around the Christmas tree or something to that effect. And it was just so lovely. And here we see these examples. This is Turkish costume, this is Russian, this is Czech Republic. I really like this one actually, because if you can see, there's some silk flowers on the head. And this is Chinese costume, Korean costume. Very, very nice, very pretty. The supplies you'll need. And it's one of the things I would like to do, some of them at some point in my life, because I think they'd be a lot of fun, especially during lockdown when we have to spend a lot of time at home. And this one is, unfortunately, it's black and white, but it is a Gretel from Hansel and Gretel doll. You can see the gingerbread house in the background, and this is the Gretel.
We already did that.
Yeah, so I'm going to show.
No, that one is. No.
I'm going to show the one that we have. What were you going to say?
It's not good looking right now because it collects a lot of dust and everything.
I'll show it from a distance, and maybe one day I will go through the whole thing. I won't bother to show it in detail, but you can see the Gretel here. And that is the pattern. We have some flowers in the background, and we have Hansel here too. But one day, the Hansel's jacket is falling off. One day, I'm going to show you these in a lot more detail and how much work is involved. There really are things that you do if you love dolls, if you have a passion for them. But if you do, it can really, really give you a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun, and a lot of satisfaction from your handiwork. So as I said, I'm not going to be showing you these in too much detail, but just to show you, yes, that we do have them. We did make them years ago. And they are, like my mother said, filled with dust at the moment. So they need a good cleaning, and once we get to that, I will show them in more detail. Thank you, and talk to you very soon. So as we get ready to shoot our how to make chocolate eclairs, Scooby is constantly coming back and forth, wanting to look and see what's going on in the kitchen. And Roly Poly is staring into the kitchen to see what's going on, which I think is cute. Now that the camera's on her, she's becoming a little bit camera shy. And there's Scooby again. Okay, so we're starting our choux pastry now. And I'm going to be acting today as the camera person and as the sous chef. So we have butter cut up into even pieces, and we're putting it in the pot at medium-high heat. And we'll take a 1/4 cup of milk, and we're going to be adding it to that. So we have a 1/4 cup of milk that we're going to be pouring into there. You make sure it's quite even, yes, okay. So we have a 1/4 cup of milk, and we need a 1/4 cup of water to add to that. Yeah. Okay. That's great. So now the instructions say we need, maybe we can get a spoon. And we need to stir this until it comes to a boil. And this is still pretty tame in terms of what we're doing, because it gets a little bit more interesting than this. Now I'll continue stirring if you can get a 1/2 cup of flour. Thank you. Please. So basically the recipe says that we need to have the butter completely melted, which it has, and the water and the milk. A 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of water. We need it to be boiling and everything mixed perfectly. Now my chef, who's going to be doing, the pastry chef who's going to be doing this, is a very, very, very much of a perfectionist. So he is really making sure that the measuring cup is pristine, and he's now putting the flour, 1/4 cup. Sorry, 1/2 cup, 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup. It has to be exact because this is a measure, this is a baking thing. It's to be exactly 1/2 cup. And the idea, which I was very fascinated to read, was that you have to put the flour all in one heap once this, yes, but just, they said just dump it all in. Yeah. Yeah. And this is the interesting part. Now, the heat, I think you turn off if you want to hold it. It's supposed to be something like a mashed potato consistency, which it is, actually. Does this look about right from what you remember?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I have turned off the heat. I'm not going to show that. I'm going to let this cool a little bit. And while we wait, maybe you can get the eggs. There are 2 eggs that need to be mixed. And at this point, you're supposed to be, there's no heat, and you're supposed to be sort of cooling it off so that all the steam, all the steam is released. So now we have to do 2 eggs and 1 egg at a time. And do you want to mix or should I mix?
You.
Okay, I'll mix.
So just crack the
Yes,
egg.
that's what the recipe for the basic choux pastry says. doesn't look very good yet, but it should be. And we have to make sure we don't make scrambled eggs so very quickly. Okay. And basically we have, I have to keep mixing. How about you? How about you mix, if you don't mind?
Yes. Super. Thank you very much.
Okay. Looking good. Now we will continue mixing, but this is basically the semi-solid consistency that we have is what I'm showing you. Okay, so I think we'll cut it off here, and we're going to wait until this is, yeah, that's looking good, and we need to, thank you, we need to put this to bake. Hi everybody, so we're back, and I'm just going to do the finishing touches. So we cheated a little bit, but I'm going to do a close-up of the choux pastry. It's got a little bit of crack to it. It looks really good. My chef said it looks similar to what he did many years ago, but it did not rise as much as I would have liked. So what I did was I put two together for this eclair. So I'm just putting this down. I'm going to put some whipped cream, and I have some chocolate melting. If you can take a little now. The only little bit of a mistake I've made is I should have let the chocolate cool, but that's okay. I'm just going to drizzle some of this beautiful, beautiful melted chocolate on top of the eclair. And there you go, homemade chocolate eclair, and it smells amazing. And I'm just gonna have a bite. It's better than any store-bought eclair you can imagine. Very, very good. Hope you give it a try. Thank you for watching. Stay well and stay safe, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.